there was a woman there who got fired from the Royal Air Force because she refused to go along with the policy. Her supervisor said to her, "We're not hiring any more useless straight white men." She said, "I don't agree with this policy, it's discriminatory," and she was fired.
Can I just ask a quick question?
No,
So
no,
I would
no,
have
I'm
looked
not
that up.
finished
The
yet.
Royal Air
I'm
Force
not
had a
finished
policy
yet.
of not hiring straight white
I'm not
men.
finished
Is
yet.
that true?
I'm not finished yet. So you can. This is something you can look up. It was covered extensively in the news in this country. Probably wasn't covered that well on Wikipedia where you did the.
Well, hello, my friends. Yes, I I saw this and I said I gotta share this because I am a strong supporter of DEI. In this argument, it seemed like the proponents of DEI got caught with their pants down, which kind of did, but they didn't deal with the facts. Number one fact, I looked this up, and not in Wikipedia. I went to Gemini and I asked, okay, what's going on with this? And it gave me the rundown from different news sources as to what actually is happening with this. Number one, the woman was not fired; she resigned. Okay, so now he starts talking about how they're referring to useless white male pilots. This was not necessarily a comment on their actual flying skills, but rather a reflection of administrative frustration. Leadership had set, the upper echelons of leadership had set ambitious targets to increase the percentage of female and ethnic minority recruits. When those targets were not being met through standard applications, white males were viewed by some recruitment officers as obstacles to hitting those statistical goals. Hence the derogatory useless. Now, an internal inquiry found that the RAF had effectively paused job offers to white male recruits to prioritize women and minorities. And it was found that the head of the RAF recruitment resigned in protest, and the RAF eventually admitted that their zeal to hit impossible targets led to unlawful acts of discrimination against white men. Now, critics argue that when government or military leadership sets impossible quotas, it forces middle management to choose between breaking the law or failing their superiors. Now, from a military perspective, the primary concern raised by critics was that prioritizing demographics over the best of the best could eventually compromise national security or operational excellence. Now, there's a lot of things here that are being ignored, okay? And they're being ignored on purpose because it serves the argument against woke culture. You know, oh, they're gone too far. They're just, no, sir. Allow me to explain the actual problem. So we have, when you include the military, there's a lot of problems. Number one, whatever recruits you get, you're going to train. So it doesn't matter if you get the best or not. What matters is what comes out of that training. If you are able, and this is a fact, when you're going to be a pilot, you don't become an RAF pilot just because you're a minority. See, this is the thing. You don't graduate from RAF just because you are black, Hispanic, or a woman. You graduate after you meet all of their requirements, which are pretty darn strict and pretty strong with dealing with G-forces and a lot of things that you really didn't have to go through when you were going through, shall we say, preparatory pilot school or the first pilot school where you have to put your hours in the air, etc. Now, the problem is this. People are like, well, we got to get the best of the best. Well, when you start paying your pilots, the ones that are coming in, top dollar, you're going to get the best of the best. Because guess where the best of the best are actually going? They're going to private industries. Because you see, and this is another thing also. The best of the best usually go for the best money, because I'm not going to spend all this money in pilot school to come out and see if you're going to pay me, $30,000 or $40,000 a year. Are you freaking kidding me? No, I'm coming out and I'm hoping to find someone that will pay me over $100,000 a year, because that's the kind of debt that you acquire when you go into pilot school. Okay? Now, there are some people, usually from the upper socioeconomic levels, that are able to spend that kind of money going to training with the military, and then after a couple of years of training and experience and whatnot, then they're making good money. People from the lower socioeconomic levels cannot afford that. So they will go for what private companies want them and pay the most. So all of these are realities that people that want to dump on DEI don't take into account. And we're going to deal with the RAF only. Royal Air Force, just like the United States Air Force, you don't get to fly a mission as a full-fledged pilot unless you have gone through and met all of the requirements. So unless you're saying that the military is a bunch of useless people, well, then this doesn't apply. Because even if you're not a pilot when you come in, you go through training and you either flunk, in which case you do not become a pilot in the military, or you go somewhere else. You see, so this is the part again. When they come up with these arguments, but oh well, they're hiring, and it's like, hey, let's take a look at the whole cake, not just this. Let's take a picture and claim that this is reality. No, sir. Let's take a picture, widen the angle, take a video, take statistics, and then go with it. Was this a problem? Yes. Was it corrected? Yes. Now, what was the root cause of the problem? The root cause of the problem is that management set standards and it didn't want to listen to its underlings when they were saying, hey, these goals are irrational. They're like, no, they must be met. This is typical of people that say, my way or the highway. It's like when you get disconnected from the highway, you have no one to tell you that you are driving into the boondocks, or wherever, into the wild areas, and you have lost your way. And that is a problem with the military all over the world. They have people at the top, and these people make standards, they set policy, and they never listen to the people below until someone blows the whistle and says, hey, this guy's crazy. He's asking for stuff that's really stupid. And then the news takes hold of it, and then it becomes a big thing, and then they blame it on everything except leadership. Leadership is the one that's always at fault because they neglect to look at the facts, at the details. They just want to go with let's just get rid of them, and hire all of them. No. When you're in management, you're supposed to be able to take a surgical approach to things and fix them. The military facilitates people to just say, let's cut the whole thing. And it's like, no, that's not the way it is. That is the biggest security flaw that we have in every military. They won't listen to their underlings. And that's a security problem. not DEI, not woke ideology, management not listening.